Hey everyone, thanks for joining me and welcome back to the channel. Now if you like following other game dev tubers like I probably know you do, you may have heard of the Chain Letter Jam. A game jam started by Miziziziz, which was passed on to other game devs and passed on and so on and so on. With the main conditions of the jam being the game must be able to be completed within 1 minute and must develop further on from the one who nominated you because you get nominated in this jam. And a month or so ago I was nominated by Manisha, who you may or may not know. I'll definitely be leaving a link down below. Manisha nominated me to take part in the jam, and Manisha was nominated by Zyga and Yannick. Manisha's game had an interesting take on it. It was doing perspective on good and bad vibes from words. So I decided to do something similar myself, and I gave words powers, which I thought was a cool idea and it was quite fun to make, I'll be honest. And I'll be honest with you all, I'm not the best at recording game jams, so I'm not sure how this is going to go. I've got some random footage I took, so let's just use it and we'll see where we get up to. I want to show you the game I produced, which is called Word Hero Rises. Or Rising, I keep forgetting which one it is. But anyway, roll the footage. I knew from the start I want to make like a classic Donkey Kong type of game where you get letters thrown down at you and they roll across and you have to try and dodge them and click the right ones to make the correct word. So I started off in Unity, of course, and I made a basic prototype for a word rolling down. And it's basically physics-based, and I wanted to make sure that was all working nicely, and it did. And I just used some basic colours which we used in the other games, except for Manisha's, because she went for her own art style with it, which is really nice, but I can't emulate that, so I thought I'll just go for what the others did, because I can do that. And it worked quite well, and this is how it started off in like the first few days, so I didn't have loads of time to work with it every day. I then spent the next few days upgrading like all the visuals. I decided to use a colour palette for once, so I've never really done that before, and I wanted to limit myself further, because why not? And it was fun. So I have this limited colour palette, and I made some like barrels with letters in them, and I added the first word effect. As you can see at the top it says slow, and if you collect all the letters that spell slow, the whole world slows down. There was currently no way for it to go back to normal, but it was a cool showcase to show that the abilities were actually in the game and they worked. I then added minions into the game and the boss, Dr. L, the bad guy. I should mention the minions are something that Manisha added in her variation of the game, and I was like, yes, that's another way I can say I'm building off her game, which is why I added them, and they looked really cool, so I was like, yeah, go on then. I gave them a little animation as well, the head kind of like tilt and they kind of like spit when they would spawn a letter. And some UI at the top as well to show the word and the health of you and the bad guy. The minions are going to act as another spawner for letters, and I had to change how they spawn a bit as well, like the physics of them, just because they'd clash with each other sometimes. So what I did is the barrels ignore each other, and when they hit a wall, rather than slowing down, they just kind of get a little force added to them and they get pushed back again. And it worked quite well. Like, you just collect all the different letters that get spawned every few seconds and they will spell a word. So it works from a list. It has letters to spawn, and this list will contain some random letters and some of the letters you need. The game will like randomly pick which one to spawn. It will give a little bit of a bonus to the word you need, but it will also adjust accordingly depending if it spawns too many of the letters you need. It might go down a bit and start spawning letters that you don't need as much. It kind of just works like that, and I think it's quite cool. It's kind of adapting to your skill level, I'd say. Yeah, to your skill level. Sure, let's go for that. The next clip just shows briefly what happens when you finish a word. So here you spell the word slow. The world slows down for a few seconds, and as you can see, Dr. L flashes white to say he's taken some damage, and that's just all it really is, and it's just a subtle effect, but it's so you know you've done some damage and you've done something good. Now, I only had 2 weeks to work on this game. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. I think I forgot to mention that. So I spent the final few days adding some nice effects into the game, just so that I think that makes them look more polished than they actually are. So I added some post-processing effects, mainly with the 2D lights I was using and some vignette around the screen, just to make it look kind of like you're looking in on it, which I thought looked really nice. I did try to go for a more complex background, but it just kind of clashed a bit. And as you can see, there's some particle effects as well when you collect words and do damage, all of which just add to create quite a nice, like, almost juicy experience, I'd say. I could have added some camera shake if I had more time, but I just kind of ran out of time at the end. Okay, so I'll be honest, I kind of ran out of footage there because I'm not good at recording. Stop playing. I'll be honest with you, I kind of ran out of footage there because I'm not very good at recording game jams, and I tend to forget to record what I'm doing when I'm doing it. So I was kind of just showing you the random bits of footage I'd taken throughout the weeks of making the game. And I'm a bit lost now on what to do because the video is only around 4 minutes and YouTube just doesn't like that. So I thought, why don't we do a few minutes of me actually playing the game? And that could get the view count up a little bit maybe. Who knows what will happen, let's do that. We're going to play the game. I'll show you the game in my browser. We'll even have sound on for the game. I never tend to do that, so you can hear the amazing sounds I made. Unfortunately, no voice acting was required, but I did add some menus into the game, so, you know, I just thought I should show all that off. So you should be able to hear my amazing background music right now, and I apologise if you can hear mouse clicks, that's just going to be a thing. This is the HIO page. Again, music creation is not really my go-to, so I just had to do something very quickly, and this is what I got. It could have been worse. I believe I made it with Bosca Seol. As you can see, we've got a little control panel here because I realised I forgot to add control panel in when I was doing it, so I added that dead quick. A quit and a play button. Dr. L, word hero, you'll never defeat me, I have cast a spell on my words. These words are quite literal in their meaning. So to the left you have Dr. L, to the bottom you have a minion, and to the right you have word hero. You can go back to the menu there and you can just click play, and then you play the game. So as you can see, the lighting is really quite bright because I thought it looks quite cool, and the word is slow. Now, I'll be honest, one of the issues I had was trying to get like double letters to fit in, and I just couldn't do it. I don't know what I was doing wrong with the UI layout, but I just could not get the letters to fit in correctly. There's also a sound when you pick up. So I kind of had to opt for this, like this design is for the biggest word possible, and I just had to kind of opt for that. I think it's okay. So I can see word hero has 5 lives, Dr. L has 7. I could have added some more sounds and perhaps for like jumping and such, but I did not. Ooh, as you can see, I spelled a word wrong. And it made the whole screen just go a lot faster because whenever you spell a word wrong, it does the opposite of what the word says. So for example, height here will make you jump higher, but if you spell it wrong, you'll actually be able to jump slower. So let's try and spell one right. There's a few issues, obviously because it's physics based. If you like jump into a barrel, you'll kind of be like blocked from jumping a little bit, so you kind of have to be careful. I've also set a limit on how many each thing can spawn at a time, so when they fall off the screen they get destroyed, and then that's when the enemies know they can spawn another one. It's just because otherwise the screen would just be full of barrels and it just gets a little bit overwhelming. And there is an issue, obviously, if 2 of them overlap, like these 2 here, you can't do anything, just ignore them. I'm sorry, I wish I could do more, but they had to ignore each other, so that way they wouldn't like affect each other's speed, but by ignoring each other they can roll into each other. Now one of the issues I had with the game, which I just couldn't really solve, it was more a design issue, was there was really no reason to go up at any levels. Like, I'm climbing now as an example, and as you can see I'm jumping higher. I'm climbing as an example, but like, I had no reason to do so. I usually just tend to stay down here, and I imagine a lot of players tended to just stay down here and just wait for letters to fall to them. As you can see, it's like a little particle wall at the top there that's stopping you from getting to Dr. L. So we're going to play a bit more. So the word is light, and as you can see, the screen's quite dark. If you spell it wrong, it'll go like pitch black. But if you spell it right, the world light will go up a bit. That's basically all there is. I mean, there's a pause menu with a resume and the main menu, and I just noticed there pause is actually hidden slightly. Go me, I am a pro game developer, obviously. I'm not going to make you sit through me spelling all these, by the way. What we'll do instead is I will use movie magic to speed my gameplay up to when one of us finishes. Obviously this game doesn't actually take a minute to finish, so I probably broke some of the rules of the jam there, but you know, what are you going to do? So there you go, light. I just wanted to show that effect. So now I'm going to speed up and you'll just watch me playing the game, being a pro. So as you can see, I've paused the game, we're about to click the last letter for the word, and bonus does extra damage. I also made it so Dr. L doesn't actually die, because in the other games he always seems to escape, so I thought I'll let him escape and we'll see what happens with that. And see if someone I nominate or someone else takes it upon themselves to find an ending for Dr. L, but without further ado, collect the last letter. Blast you, word hero, you haven't seen the last of me, and as you can see all the enemies have disappeared, and so have you. It's magic. If you lose, you just get a different message there, I'll be honest with you. And you can go back to the main menu, or you can quit. And then if you quit, you get this beautiful screen. So this was an odd one. I don't tend to do mini game jam videos for the obvious reason that I'm just not very comfortable doing them because I don't think I'm the best at them. If you want to watch some good ones, watch Vimlark do them, or literally anyone else who entered this jam. I'm going to link down as many as I can remember down below. So please go check them out. I assure you they'll be so much better than what I produced. And if you're wondering what about Chrono, I am taking a little break from Chrono development just because I know what I'm like and I'm kind of on the verge of having a little bit of a burnout from it. And I'm taking preemptive measures to stop that. As today, I'll be entering Ludum Dare with Casual Dutchman, so that should be fun. There'll be a devlog on that soon. Well, after the Ludum Dare, and in the 2-week period. And then after that, maybe I'll carry on with Chrono for a bit, or maybe I'll just focus on some personal projects like C++, because I'm doing that, remember? I can't really explain how long this is going to take me to get over. I just feel in a bit of a rut with Chrono. I have things to do, but I just have no motivation to go do them. So I think for the moment, I'm just going to take a little break and not produce any low quality work in Chrono. Well, any lower quality work than there already is. And yeah, so I hope you all understand. thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this random devlog. I know it's been a few weeks since I actually took part in the jam, but I thought now's a good time to do it. Hope you all are staying safe and doing well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope, if you haven't already, that you might like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. Stay safe, and goodbye.